morbid subject. Well, more about that.
Goodbye.
Below. We did joke about that before. But there. Anyway, Scott Dixon wins in Toronto, equaling Mario Andretti for the second most IndyCar wins of all time. Who said he was washed up? Who said he was done? Who said his career is on the decline? It may still be the case. But what is, and I put a tweet out about it after the race finished, it's an absolute pleasure to watch a true legend like Scott Dixon within the series. I think that his 18th or 19th consecutive season with a win.
19th.
I mean, it's like every IndyCar season Scott Dixon has competed in, without fail, he's won a race.
Nuts.
And in a majority of that time, a spec series. That's really damn impressive. That is all driver skill and talent. And realistically, if he goes on a run, if the things fall in his favor, technically Scott Dixon, after that, is in the championship fight. He didn't win in 2002, 2004. That was in kart. Technicality. I said IndyCar. I believe he came in 2008. Did he not win in 2004? Surely. Oh, well, I've stuffed that. Scott Dixon, he's not that great. 04 was IRL.
Well, this has been a roller coaster right here.
Scott Dixon washed up. Wins overrated. Done. Thank you, Caleb, for correcting me. Hometown boy finally made a stream again. Good to see you, Zoe. Good to see you. He's one of the greatest drivers of IndyCar. He absolutely is. 2004 was IRL and he had a Toyota. For God's sake. Okay, I got it wrong. Hands up. Stephen's taken over the rest of the stream. I'm done.
Sorry?
I'm out.
Scott Dixon. Prepped for this.
Scott Dixon.
What?
I've stuffed it. I've screwed it up. I've been corrected by our loyal Indy Fanatics. They've shown me up again. I've got it wrong.
Don't listen to them. They don't know what they're talking about. I believe your facts.
You know what? Scott Dixon, if he didn't win in 2004 in the IRL, he won in here. He won in our hearts.
Did he? Nice. What a beautiful moment.
Zoe, obviously coming into a stream, means that we're going to get some Marcus Ericsson love in our championship leader.
We'll come on to him.
Absolutely. But Scott Dixon was he looked rapid in qualifying. Second was just, his strongest qualifying other than the Indy 500, of course. We don't talk about that. But yeah, he looked like he was a man on a mission this weekend, and he delivered.
Yes, we kind of missed the start of the race. Minor problems with recording.
Still, we don't talk about that.
But yeah, Scott Herter led the first to the first round of pit stops, and then Dixon did the undercut and got him on the pit exit on the warmed up tyres, and Herter was still on the cold tyres, and they didn't look back. Absolutely dominated the race from there. Even because towards the end, it was the battle for second between. Oh my goodness! You're doing a tweet. How much time do I have to fill here?
Well, I thought we're now getting back into semi-regular streams. I better act professional and actually promote our streams across other platforms other than just being we're live.
Nice. There we go. Scott Dixon, a beast in the streets of Toronto, and we didn't really talk about him in the preview.
Toyota was a dog that yet. No, Scott, I know, absolutely. You're always supportive in terms of your corrections. But yeah, the Toyota wasn't a great car back in that year.
To be fair, back to Scott Dixon and away from Toyota. You had a good feeling about him, all from qualifying. To be fair to you, you basically called it.
I called it last week in the preview. Someone clicked that.
Did we? Did you?
I'm pretty sure I said Scott Dixon win. I'm pretty sure I was like, Dixon's going to win because, we did that incredibly professional looking through Wikipedia. And I was like, Dixon's good there. Dixon wins. He's got to win one race this year.
true.
Dixon wins. Dixon wins. And you were like, New Garden.
All I remember was Pagenaud won.
Yeah, exactly.
That was the analysis.
Toronto proved why Dixon is a 6-time champ and Herta has yet to sniff a championship. Correct. It's even comparable to the 2020 Ferrari F1. What do you think of the Alex Palou drama? We will come on to that, Caleb. I know probably people have been dying to, because we were like, everything's great in Toronto. We're looking forward to Toronto. End live stream, Alex Palou. We'll drive for Chip Ganassi next year. No.
Happened like midnight. I had
Yeah,
to stay
Dix.
up for that.
Yeah, mental. Go from there. I just hope Dixon can score one more championship before retirement. 7 championships is a milestone amongst race car drivers. Absolutely, Mark. It would be awesome. Who knows? Who knows whether he can do it? Maybe this year is the year, but if Zoe has anything to go about it, it will definitely be Marcus Ericsson. What's going on with Maya Shank? Well, we'll get to that. But I suppose, other than Scott Dixon, real big winner of the day, Marcus Ericsson.
Well, we're going to do the winners and losers.
Well, yeah, I suppose.
We're just going to do a mess.
Yeah, maybe. I guess Scott Dixon was the general thoughts, and Scott Dixon was the first winner. So shall we do first loser?
Oh, geez. Okay, bring it down. First loser. Gosh. I can't actually think of any blatant... Oh, Alexander Rossi. That's an easy one. It was classified as a racing incident. Rossi running well. Was he... I think he was 4th. And Felix was making the move on P4. And, Felix just punted him into the wall. But it was kind of like a little bit 50-50. I guess that's what the race director said.
It kind of felt like it, but his
fair,
suspension, for some rare reason, just gave up on it.
Well, no. The thing was, it was with the Grosjean incident that I didn't realise, is the wheel got knocked out of his hands. So why the car started going straight was because he lost the wheel. And so that's why he couldn't avoid the corner.
Yeah,
It's happened 2 races in a row.
And that's not really Felix Rosenqvist's fault. It's a safety mechanism. Nope, you're out the race.
Yeah, but other drivers aren't having this thing.
Yeah, I guess so.
For some reason, with... Okay.
I just want to make it more central. I want to be the picture.
For some reason, whatever Rossi's steering wheel setup is, he's struggling with impact. Although it was a pretty big shunt wheel contact. But yeah, he's my first loser because he was running well. Again. He's had a positive second half season, but these last 2 races have been ones to forget.
Yes.
Just looking forward to McLaren, I'm sure.
I'm sure. Next winner, Marcus Ericsson. There we can go on there. Extended his championship lead. We were discussing, it feels like he's doing what Dixon did in 2020, where he may not have a sensational second half of the season, but he will just do enough. And that's where he is at Rossi, live by the sword, die by the sword. There you go. Dan Philpott. Marcus Ericsson is getting the job done. And it probably brings up a bigger discussion of, should the Indy 500 be worth double points?
Yeah, we spoke about that post-race. Going, Ericsson's lead is pretty dominant, but that was because of his big double points win at the 500.
Absolutely. Which the 500 is a massive event in itself. It's a huge achievement winning the race. Not sure it needs the double points in the championship. But that is the case where we're at. And regardless, that's been the same for all the drivers previously. So that's not a knock on Marcus Ericsson. That's just on should that be, tweaked in the rules by IndyCar and to change that. But Marcus, he's managing. His qualifying hasn't necessarily been... I would say, as Alex Palou was last year, Marcus Ericsson is being very Dixon-esque.
Yeah.
He's not necessarily qualifying great, but he's staying out of trouble. He's getting the job done. He's making positions in the race, and he's making sure that he's maximizing every performance that he's out there. He's not having bad days at a racetrack right now.
For him to win the championship, he needs to do something like Pelot did and just bag a dominant victory. And I think that could be it. With the consistency he's showing, if he just nabs a win at this second half of the season, not at Iowa, forget about that.
New Garden!
It's going to be very challenging. But if he bags a win on one of the remaining tracks, I think that could be enough. A bit like Pelot last year. He had a strong 500 and then was consistent in the second half, got a win, and that was the championship basically.
It was Portland, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was Portland. Craig Sitson, Scott is a legend. He certainly is. But yeah, Marcus Ericsson, he's doing incredibly well at the moment and a big winner, which his closest championship rival was probably...
Well, no, I wasn't going to go for good old Will, as being alluded to over here.
Willie P.
I'm going to go for his teammate, Joseph Newgarden, 2-time winner around the streets of Toronto. I was all about the unstoppable force of Joseph Newgarden. But no. What was it? I think they were trying to push the car in because he was too far away from the fuel pump or something with the rear right tire. He fell victim to... we haven't talked about it, but it feels a bit like the iconic pit lane at Toronto. It's a bit like a snake. It just winds round, meanders round the streets. And it just looked proper awkward for some people. It's a bit like the lottery.
Yeah. More chances of winning than the lottery, but yeah, I get what you mean.
But yeah, because the entries and the exits, I think he just fluffed the entry, fluffed the pit stop, and then went from third to finished 10th. Finished 10th in the end. That's why I feel like he's a loser, because he had a chance to be on the podium. Ends up finishing 10th. Championship run stutters a bit.
It does indeed, but he is coming into one of his strongest tracks in a doubleheader. You
could actually, to be fair, wrap the Team Penske up as a loser's package.
Yeah, probably.
Let's fund it up. Special offer.
Scott McLaughlin, where did he finish in the end?
Was he top 10?
Ninth. So just ahead of Newgarden.
And then Will Power was 15th.
But was running top 5 for a while, wasn't he, Scott McLaughlin?
Yeah.
So.
Will Power's 15th?
Yes.
Yeah, so they all had a bit of a rough day at the office at Toronto. In a track, you'd reckon they probably all looked like favourites going into it. And they all had a dodgy weekend. For their championship bids, costly.
It certainly was. I've just seen a comment from Austin Knight. He outed me on Twitter going, "You curse Sato as my star performer." And he's like going, "I've come for the Sato apologies." And he's going, "My F1 friends were watching go nuts because it's chaotic." Absolutely. That's what IndyCar is. And the restarts, there were some great passes, weren't there? I think Pelot and Ericsson at one point almost were going wheel to wheel. That would have been the storyline, wouldn't it? Alex Pelot takes out championship leader Ericsson. I could just imagine a pan shot to Chip Ganassi just being cool, but inside going. He has a bit of a red tinge to him, doesn't he, Chip? So I think he would have gone a very bright shade of red, and not because he was embarrassed.
Pure fury.
As a Sato fanboy, I'm a bit sad. Sorry, PJ. Felix was a winner, star performer. Well, okay, we'll come on to Felix.
Do I actually get a winner? Or are you going to keep me punching people on the floor and calling them losers?
Fine. You do, but he's been fan voted as a winner. Did you pick him as a star performer?
No. We'll come on to my star performer who did actually perform really well.
Well, mine wasn't in the race, so.
It's your favourite driver to commentate on. More of that later. I guess, Felix got podium. There's quite a lot of good performances. You could put Pelot in there, 20th to 5th. Felix getting the podium. trying to cling on to that McLaren seat when it looks like Plo may get out, or maybe Plo will get shifted to Formary. We'll come on to that later. Yeah, Felix there was lots of great drives actually throughout. It's difficult to pick a final winner. Yeah, Felix, Plo. I'm kind of doing honourable mentions as my third. I should have just carried on punching people on the floor who were losers.
I think Plo made a lot of moves in the race,
Yeah,
didn't he? I think he made the most legit overtakes on track.
Legit overtakes.
Not pit lane overtakes, which are, I suppose, legit overtakes, but nothing on track.
And another strong showing from Lundgaard. Coming in top 10. I think 8th in the end.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was. Yep.
So those are coming my way. Another bundle, another special offer bundle package of the individual stars. The Felix, the Plo, and the Lundgaard.
The package.
The only thing with Felix, though, was the move on Rossi was a bit questionable. But he still got a podium.
Look, the wheel popped out his hands. It's not Felix's fault, is it?
It's not his wheel.
No, it's not his wheel. It's not his fault. I think we saw a loser. I think Zoe made some suggestion about Callum Ilott, maybe arguably. I'm going to go with. It's a bit harsh, but maybe Carl Kirkwood. Just didn't click for him that weekend, and then made an overly ambitious move on Jimmy Johnson on the inside. Was a bit of a rookie move, which ended his race.
It was a bit of desperate. I need to make moves now.
Yeah.
And Jimmy doesn't look in mirrors.
He's had a fantastic... Nobody's usually behind me. Look, I think Kyle has had a fantastic rookie season, but that was definitely a learning curve.
Yeah.
So maybe a harsh loser, but I kind of quickly move on from it and learn from the mistake.
Yeah.
Fair enough. That kind of rounds up our winners and losers.
I feel like I had another.
No, we do 3 and 3. That's it.
I know.
Game over.
I wasn't sure if there's an honourable mention for a loser.
If we go honourable mentions, knowing us, namely me, I'll name half the field. And then we go, oh, sorry. We'll do some other things. Stephen!
Honourable mention, Dalton Kellett. He obviously had another Chevy engine blowout. What's going on with Chevy engines? They're all going to pot.
And in his home race, he was meant to be the top Canadian. What happened to Dalton?
It was really early as well. Obviously, you missed it. But I was seeing in the highlights, his engine just blew up.
No, didn't happen. Didn't fancy it.
Yeah. There's another Chevy engine, though. Is this a worry for the rest of the team Chevys?
Maybe. Fan favourite, Dalton Kellett. Well, Canadian fan favourite. Well, actually, I think the Canadian fan favourite was in the commentary booth. But yes,
pinch down.
Hydrate or dihydrate, boys. It's hot out here. It really is hot. Yeah. Does Hinch have more championship points than Kellett? It's got to be close.
What, Korea? Or this season? Jeez.
Who knows? Who knows, realistically? Right. I guess star performer. Do you want to give a shout out to
Graham?
Graham!
P4 in the end. What a nice weekend for the Rahal Linneman crew, minus the third guy that no one talks about. Don't talk about
Lincolnshire.
Yeah, there's 2 double top 10 finishes of Graham coming in 4th, close to the podium.
Brutal from Austin. Airtime, at least.
Wow. But yeah, Graham. I called it. I knew it was going to be a good weekend for Graham. I didn't quite get my podium.
No.
But, 4th.
It was close. And also, he was fighting Felix at one point.
Yeah.
Before Felix just went bam.
Yeah.
And was chasing down Colton. But I think it was a strong showing from Rahal Lehmann-Lanigan, who I think we were asked, but yeah, arguably I would say are one of the most disappointing teams this season. I don't like Graham's personality, but he's got great race car. Happy for the RLL boys. Joe, it's big of you to, move beyond to your personal feelings of Graham to just say, you know what, he's pretty great in a race car. Yeah. But yeah, the less said about Jack Harvey for Katie, and I think Alan on Twitter also is a big Jack Harvey fan. Probably the better. The 45 crew, to say that it's been the season from hell is probably an understatement.
I mean, I feel like that doesn't be that bad.
Namely,
with expectations,
right. Namely, has he finished in the top 10 once this season?
No.
I genuinely don't think so. Don't mention Jack Harvey. Pain!
Yeah, stop mentioning Jack Harvey, okay?
Sorry, we'll move on. 27 of you in chat. That's fantastic. Thank you, everyone, for viewing. If you haven't already liked the stream, it helps and means that more Indy fans can watch us talk about IndyCar, and we can keep our great IndyCar community going after we had a sabbatical at the first part of the season.
We're back!
We're back! In terms of that, right, okay. Toronto, any final thoughts on Toronto?
It was enjoyable to watch. The pit lane, like I said, is kind of iconic a bit with the snaky. Mm-hmm. So it was quite fun to see the carnage in the pit lane. Lots of overtaken spots. There was about three overtaken spots. I can't name the corners. They were pretty fun. Lots of people sending it. Good race. And yeah, just enjoying watching Scott Dixon show up as he always does, year in, year out.
He'll pull out of nowhere, even if, and it has been like stuttering at times, but he somehow still gets a win. And it was incredible to watching. And it's, to see, in fairness, it was nice to see a genuine buzz. He is the Iceman. So he's usually so cool. He's usually so composed. But there was genuine joy in his face at what he had achieved. Joint second of all time with Mario Andretti, an absolute legend. Scott Dixon will forever be in the history books of IndyCar. And, yesterday just solidified that. And by the time his career ends, you're looking at a guy that's probably going to be the second outright. I can easily see him surpassing Mario. Go for now. Did anyone here see any of the Road to Indy race over the weekend? No, we didn't see there.
I saw Miles got another win. Miles Rowe?
Yeah, Miles Rowe did get another win. I mean, Miles has been absolutely fantastic. But yeah, I think he's going from strength to strength after leaving. Force Indy.
Force Indy, yeah.
Yeah, he's Pat Burst, I think it is. And that was the team with Hunter McElroy, I think, was with. So, McElroy. Actually, I think it's that one. McElroy. That doesn't sound right. McElroy. But yeah, saw the 2 Indy Pro races. Great to see people supporting the Junior Series because you're essentially watching the stars of the future. And especially in IndyCar, there is a genuine path for those guys to get to, and so many. And, well, I guess Malukas probably deserved a shout. I think he had a pretty strong race. Didn't manage to finish in the top 10 in the end, but had another strong qualifying, didn't he? I think, did he make it into the Fast 6 from memory?
No, I think he was just outside.
But, his best qualifying performance of the season so far. He very much could be on the cards for a team Chip Ganassi seat next season.
Well, Andretti.
Yeah. Right. So Toronto, when we get to the fan, obviously for those of you who don't know how we're doing the new live race previews, we'll kind of chat and do our normal kind of race preview stuff. And then we'll have the fan section at the end where we can go over anything you want to discuss from the race and also there. But I guess the big topic, the elephant in the room, is Alex Palou. Do you want your thoughts first, or do you want my thoughts first on Palou?
You go. You're in a roll.
Okay. Alex Palou. he's a fantastic driver, and there's a reason why teams are fighting over him. But I feel we don't know the full story, and he says it's for personal reasons. Whether those personal reasons are, we can guess that if it's to go to F1 because McLaren opens up that opportunity, it gives him the chance to potentially progress if a seat lines up there, or to at least test an F1 car. From that basis, if it's family related, maybe he wants to move back to Europe. Formula E or F1 offers that opportunity on that basis a little bit more for him. But how the situation has been handled, I think I saw Scott mention it, that Palou will rue the decision. And I think it's probably fair, because Chip Ganassi Racing and Team Penske have dominated the championships over the last couple of decades. Andretti Autosport have been there and there too. But they've been up and down recently. It's mainly been Penske and Ganassi leading the charge. I think he's pretty much burnt the bridge. I don't know. Palou was saying that things are cool with him and Chip. We may still see, after all of this, with the contract situation, Palou still drive for Chip Ganassi next year, if it works out that way. But I think Palou very clearly wants to go to McLaren. But the way that it's handled, other teams will take note. It's a shame, because he's so talented, and all I want to talk about is Alex Palou potentially fighting for a back-to-back championship. But I think this puts the tinge on it. He fought like hell in Toronto, and he's going to race like that. And the crew are behind him still, because they want that success. So maybe on track it is still within his hands. But I do think it probably leaves a bit of a bad taste in the mouth.
For sure. But we don't know the full story.
Correct.
We only know what's public.
We know what's public, but how it's played out in public isn't great.
Yeah.
I think Dixon, who is Switzerland, coming out and saying that's not how I would have handled things, probably sums up the situation. If Dixon is given an opinion either way on something, then, maybe not have been the best.
But let's not forget, it's Chip Ganassi that lit the fuse by releasing the press release, releasing the fake quote to go, yeah, Alex is with us, without actually telling Alex he's with them. So then retaliation had to take place. There's
definitely gamesmanship.
They obviously didn't plan to release the McLaren thing that day, but of course Chip lit the fuse. And, Palou just chucked fuel on the fire.
Is his name Chip Ganassi, or is his name Guy Fawkes? Who knows? We're not in November yet. Look, Leah says hi,
Leah.
Steve.
Hello.
There you go.
Smite is the person I work with. Ever since I've become a local celebrity.
Yeah, that's very true.
After being spotted on the train.
Yeah.
It then came out at work that
So
I am a local celebrity.
Now your fans, your adoring fans.
Now we got 3 subscribers.
Living the dream.
Yeah, new fans.
Right. Okay. He was under contract. He's under contract. Breaking the contract like this is a massive bout of stupid by Palou. Just getting some comments in there. Palou, I don't see him racing next year. His contract with CGR would be strong. It's either a year or sidelines, maybe IMSA if lucky. Just don't see Chip taking any payout from McLaren. Things are cool with Chip, as in I see. Palou doesn't race for CGR next year. Who drives for them? He might race for Andretti in a couple of years in Formula E. You don't become a legend like Scott by signing the biggest money contract. It's by signing for the fastest team. Palou has put a bad mark on his professional image, the way he handled it. If things go wrong with McLaren, where would he go? It's not a good look. Palou and McLaren were obviously going to announce their contract first, making any protest by Ganassi moot. Mike, it's not November. Actually, his name is Floyd. Oh, yeah, it is. Yeah. Local celebs, Mike and Stephen. I think Ilott and VK could be in the running for Alex's seat at Ganassi. I guess that's probably an interesting one to throw to you. If Alex Palou isn't at Chip Ganassi, the 10 is a highly coveted seat. Who drives for Ganassi?
This is so tough. Who's even
So
out there?
tough. Who's out there?
Who's even out there? They got to go for a rookie, right?
Malukas, VK,
Callum.
Ilott. Yeah.
I guess, I'm just trying to... for me, going
Graham
for a
Rahal.
rookie doesn't feel like Chip Ganassi, but of course they nabbed Palou in his sophomore season.
Yeah.
And look who he did. So...
Takuma Sato.
Sorry? There's got to be a rookie, right? If Palou went, they would get another young gun in because you still got Scott going at the top. You got Ericsson getting into that middle phase. Is that a term? Middle phase of his career. Get another young gun in. See what they can do.
I'm going to say something crazy, but would Chip Ganassi Racing go back to 3 cars now that Marcus is performing? I think they would. I think they would run 3 cars next year. I see someone filling that seat rather than cutting down to a 2. Craig Simpson, Liam Lawson, Oscar Piastri. There are other names that could be thrown into the fold. They would be massively bold to go for an out-and-out rookie. No,
I feel like it's one of the current rookies.
He'll likely put Kanaan in the car as a stopgap. I think for now...
If things go that badly, then sure. You're not going to get much from TK, though, on the road and street circuits. You literally have to put TK in for the Iowa and then retire the car if you're going to drop below.
Yeah, I think you probably run Ryan Hunter-Ray, don't you?
True. They obviously got Sebastian Bourdais as well. I guess either of those two can make a return. I completely forget about their IMSA IndyCar drivers.
Ryan Hunter-Ray is the reserve driver. Could he make a return?
Yeah.
In the 10, with obviously Andretti, how they blocked another shot of the 500s with a very competitive team, especially in recent years. Ryan Hunter-Ray, would he be considering it? Maybe. Oliver Askew. Max Chilton. Hometown boy! Oh, there we go. Yeah, I very much doubt he'll go with an old driver as well.
Who did you just say?
Oh, what? Oscar Piastri?
No. After that.
Oliver Askew?
Yeah, Oliver. Nah, I can't see you. I just wanted to shut that down.
Oliver, yeah? No!
I think he's fine in Formula E.
If I was Chip Ganassi and I had the pick of the field of the youngsters, I would...
don't say him.
I would go Rinus VK.
Oh, I thought you were going to go Santucci.
Ferrucci! Get Santucci in a seat!
I don't think him and Chip would
really? No, he's too... Santucci probably has too much controversy.
Their current roster of Ericsson, Dixon, and Palou, that is just the center of calmness and chill, no drama. Apparent predicted no drama.
Ferrucci enters the room.
Just blows up even more.
You know those kind of like memes of like the dog just walking into the room and the whole room's on fire. I imagine that's what it would happen if Chip Ganassi announced Ferrucci was full-time. You know who could, as an outside shot, if they wanted to give a recovery, would be Karen.
Yeah.
If somehow they wanted to bring, but I think Sage has been out of, he's run well at the Indy 500, but I think Sage has probably been out too long for them to give him another look in.
Yeah.
For it. I would go Rinus VK. That my serious answer would be Rinus VK.
So many options out there.
Santucci to CGR could work though. It could.
He's a great driver. I just don't think he fits the mold of Chip.
Stuff if it works or not. Santucci to full-time IndyCar again. Every time he gets in a car, he performs. No, Connor Daly, behave.
My bet's with a current rookie, so Malukas or Callum, or they poach Lundgaard. But I think that would never happen.
There are far more capable and available drivers than there are seats. He'll find someone without a problem. It's a very calm and reasonable response, Scott. Maybe Formula E driver that tires are driving souped up go-kart? Maybe. I mean, there had been talks of the likes of Stoffel Van Dorn, Felix da Costa, Antonio Felix da Costa being, an option. Nick de Vries, if he doesn't secure an F1 seat. Ed Carpenter in the abandons his team.
Just expands the team with Chip Ganassi. Chip Ganassi, Ed Carpenter Racing.
Can you imagine Dixon and a team driver meeting with Santucci? Only one is coming out of that. We are sad to say that Scott Dixon will no longer be driving in the car. He handed his resignation as soon as he saw lined up alongside him on the grid with Santino Ferrucci. Oh my God. So with how CGR operates and their image, you'll think ILOT would be the best fit. He's impressed. He has impressed with Hinkos Honda Racing. I think he has very Alex Palou-esque vibes about his rookie season. Obviously, he hasn't got a podium, but has performed well within that. I guess what would let him down would be his oval racing. But, if he gets it together, potentially.
He's very quick.
He is indeed. I'm very biased. I like in the 10, please. I think VK might edge him based on performance alone. Look, I think VK everywhere. Indianapolis 500, both road and street course. Oval and road course. Just complete. Sam Hornish. Sam Hornish Jr. makes a return. Unbelievable. Right. I guess we throw it over to chat now, unless you've got any further
questions.
Thoughts on
it's probably all going to be centered. No, we talked about enough. It's a lot of drama. I think it's the biggest story IndyCar's had since we've been watching. Just explode.
Yeah.
Contracts, team rivalry. To be fair, the biggest winner out of this all is Michael Andretti and his team, because no one's talking about that civil war anymore. Not a single mention of it.
I heard that Michael and Zach got along quite well. Zach, I'm in a really tough spot. You got to help me out. Don't worry about it at all, Michael. You leave it with me. Hello. Hello. Palou will likely be the car through Nashville due to time constraints. After that, gardening leave for Alex and a 2023 tryout for someone else. Where do you see Palou? Indy, CGR, McLaren, a year on the sidelines. I think it will work out that he will go to McLaren, but I honestly don't know. It's not good. Ilot's very likable too. After his engine blew in Ohio, he was asked about it and said something like, yeah, it just exploded, didn't it?
I was saying to you, my biggest fear with Palou is he gets shifted to the Formula E team. Because basically McLaren have 7. If McLaren expand their Indy program to 3 cars, they have 7 cars to fill in their single-seater driver roster. At the moment, they got 6 with Palou. So they can easily shift them to their new Formula E team. If Chip goes, he can't race in IndyCar. And then that could be the end of Alex Palou. Because the viewership figures for Formula E are pretty dreadful. And once you've lost your seat in IndyCar, with the amount of talent coming through, it's always going to be difficult to claw your way back in.
Yeah, I think the only reason people tune into the Formula E this weekend was to see that crash in New York where they were under caution. You just had basically 5 cars go out of one corner, didn't you? Bloody hell.
It's a bit like, was it China? I'm thinking F1. China 2008.
If Palou is kicked out of the car, I strongly suspect he will be forced to attend the race and watch this car being driven by someone else. Yeah. Can you imagine? Oh, my God. I guess, obviously, throw your questions in and we'll answer as we go along. But realising we've got a double header this weekend.
Yeah.
So I guess kind of a preview.
Oh, we're going to go into a review now.
No, preview.
Preview.
We've reviewed.
Yeah.
I don't know where you've been for the last 40 minutes.
Jeez, I feel like I'm not mentally.
I'm not prepared. All right, fine.
No, we're gonna do it.
That was a quick change of tune. I'm not prepared for it. We're gonna do it.
No.
How warm is it where you lads are? I think it was 36 degrees at some point. Obviously, sorry for you Americans. I don't know what the Fahrenheit alternative is. Isn't Newgarden the Iowa master? That's all I was going to say. Prediction Iowa. Newgarden has to win one of the races, surely.
Yeah.
At least one.
Iowa, short oval. Newgarden regarded as a short oval specialist. Is that fair to say?
Yep.
Obviously won the last time we were in Iowa.
Yep.
Just beaten out Pato.
100 Fahrenheit. That's what we are. 100 Fahrenheit,
nice.
Scott. We've reached triple figures. Anyway,
I'm looking forward to it. Double header, short oval. It's going to be carnage.
I did see a question about Jimmy Johnson earlier of how we thought he might fare on a short oval. Honestly, no idea. And I am interested in that because obviously Jimmy's strongest performances have been on ovals and Texas was a standout from memory. But both, obviously, Texas and Indianapolis are super speedways. So a short oval, different aero package. Going to be interesting to see how he handles it.
Sure. To be honest, I am running out of interest in Jimmy Johnson.
Yeah,
the amount of coverage that gets shoved in our face, and he just isn't getting better. Okay, on the ovals, he's shown some pace, but I'm just getting a bit tired of it. And it's like, do I really want to be talking about a regular back marker for an oval? No. There's so many good people for this race. You could have the resurgency of Pato. Newgarden claiming a 5th win. 5 wins this season, and he's not even in the top 3 in the championship. Will Power, can he take the lead? Can Marcus Ericsson hold on? Ericsson's never been... I know he's had some decent ovals, but you don't put him down as a winner.
No, he's had some decent ovals. He's won an Indy 500 or whatever.
No, but outside the 500s, the 500 is unique, okay?
It is. Look, I'll be fair with that.
This is a short oval.
He's done okay on... He isn't a standout performer on ovals, as opposed... He's always looked quite strong at the 500, but outside of that...
is also a favourite because he's done well here as well. The Lagos-Zone. So many good jobs. I don't want to talk about Jimmy.
Pagano.
Don't want to talk about
Last
Jimmy.
time he was with Team Penske, we were in Iowa.
Pagano's won.
Came from the back of the field.
He did.
All the way to first.
Played the caution game.
And then had to
roulette,
race the next day and try and do it all over again.
They didn't.
No.
Yeah. It's going to be great. Double header. Are we going to do our first ever 24-hour live stream?
From when the race starts in Iowa, we will stay on stream from the race ending with all the build-up for the following day. Well, let's start the second race. There we go.
How are they actually doing qualifying?
I believe it's you qualify once and then that sets the grid for both days.
That's a bit lame.
All right. Whoa. This guy, lame.
I mean,
Don't like it, lame.
I mean, it's a tricky one because you don't really have time to do a full qualifying session in the morning of the second race. I guess you do. Or you could go crazy and go like reverse grid, but I think that's a bit gimmicky.
It's too formulary. PJ has asked, he wants an answer. What do we think has happened with Meyershank this year?
Oh, yeah, of course. Sorry. I remember that question being asked.
New full-time drivers. Obviously, they've only had full-time before Jack Harvey in the team. So there's a bit of transition there, I think, in getting used to. Obviously, Elio was around the team a lot the previous season, but we know Elio is more at the tail end of his career. Pagenaud has shown some strong performances at times, but I just think they haven't quite got the package together. And as we saw last year at times with Jack Harvey, strategy has been a weakness in them at times. So I don't know if there's anything specifically gone what's up with Meyershank Racing. I just think they're in a transition season as they look to develop.
Yeah, I think we've seen a lot of the smaller teams struggle this year. Obviously, McLaren still are struggling. Rahal and Lanigan going to 3 cars. They've taken a step backwards. Meyershank haven't maintained their performance. Who else has been struggling?
Del Coyne, really.
Yeah.
Obviously, had some strong performances with Grosjean last year.
Yeah, Helicopter Racing with DK haven't really done particularly any fireworks.
Or
It's been a
Connor.
bit of a struggle all round in the. But yeah, I guess Meyershank, they've been okay though. They're in that the smaller team bracket. I don't think they've been too disastrous. I think get Elio full time possibly was a big mistake.
Scott says, pretty sure each race will have its own qualifier. There you go.
Nice. But yeah, I think getting Elio in full time is probably a mistake. Because like I said, he is at the tail end of his career. He's not performing on road and street circuits. Ovals, there's still a shot for him.
Mistake's the wrong word.
No, but I think it is. Because if you keep Jack Harvey in there, with their momentum going with it, Jack gets you better results than Elio.
But Jack chose to leave. He wasn't pushed out. Meyershank put down the contract for Jack.
There you go. Maybe it wasn't good enough.
No, I think he just wanted a new challenge after, I think it was 5 years with the team.
Okay, so you lose Jack. You have no choice in it. I think you find someone else to do your road and street courses. Like, you could even get... Okay, Ryan's probably in the same bracket of Elio, but he would have got you better results. Yeah, someone who could have performed better on those road and street circuits, who could have built more of the team. I don't think Elio gives you much this year.
Elio has been a strong oval driver through his career, and he has won on road and street courses at times. But I would say he's like a Dixon in terms of, you would say his more favoured approach has been onto the ovals there. And as the calendar has become less oval heavy, probably that's where Elio has tailed off. Plus, obviously, I mean, he's still as fit as a fiddle in, he's back-to-back winner of the Rolex 24. So he can race road courses. He can be great on it, but I think he earned the right, winning the 500 for a 4th time. He earned the right. If he turned around to the team at that stage after winning Indy 500, I don't think you can begrudge him or them going, okay. I think it's going to be a season thing. Elio will continue to race the 500s with Shank in search of getting the race for 5 is alive. As you know, it was rammed down our throats this year's Indy 500 coverage. But yeah, I think Pagenaud will be stronger next year. He's really hungry to develop that team, and I wouldn't be surprised if they went with a younger driver. If Ilott doesn't end up at Chip Ganassi, maybe Ilott could end up at Meyershank Racing.
Possibly. I just feel like it's set them back a year. Even Santucci. I feel like Meyershank probably would have taken a shot on Santucci. But like you said, if Thelio turns around to the team after the 500 win and goes, I want another year in Indy, I've still got it, then they can't really say no.
Like Scott says, MSA does not win the 500 with any other driver available, driver last year.
True.
That was just Elio's pure class of what he does at the 500. And I think they should continue, if they can, run a third car at the 500, if that's possible for them. But yeah.
They had a lot of investment, haven't they? They're on the way up.
Yeah. So I would think so. But Iowa itself, let's say, early favourites, you've got to be Joseph Newgarden. Team Penske, I can see Power going reasonably strong here as well. Scott McLaughlin, I can see a Penske bounce back this weekend.
Yeah.
Ganassi, I don't know if I'm remembering this wrong, but Ganassi haven't, in my memory of recent, been too strong on the short ovals.
I feel like Scott's probably there, isn't he?
Scott would be Scott. He's probably there or thereabouts. But yeah, Pato is one, but Pato now feels very. I mean, he can have a great Iowa weekend and be right back in that championship fight, but now 75 or 77 points off the championship lead. He's going to need a sensational Iowa. But obviously, the last time we were there, him and Oliver Askew both ran well, didn't they?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, any of the rookies to kind of stand out and do well? I think Malukas is edging it at the moment in terms of, I know Christian Lundgaard had a fantastic P8, but I would put Malukas to be the best performing rookie of the weekend.
Yes, going into it, yeah.
And now, potentially, I know, obviously, I think someone said that HMD were expanding and Linus Lundqvist to go to Dale Coyne. So a lineup of Malukas, Lundqvist and Sato in the Rick Ware racing car. So a 3-car effort from Dale Coyne next year, potentially. But Malukas was looking to progress up the ladder and maybe a Chip Ganassi seat. Strong performances at somewhere like an Iowa would certainly help his...
For sure. For sure. Help his cause. I think was the word you're looking for.
Yes.
I went too early for the for sure. I was
help his apple.
So podium predictions then.
Podium predictions. Race 1, Newgarden.
Oh, here we've got to do double.
Newgarden, Pato, McLaughlin.
Nice. Race 1 for me. Pato! Winner. Felix, P2. It's going to be a dominant race 1 from McLaren. I'm rounding up in P3. I'm going to go for, Joseph Newgarden.
Race 2, McLaughlin, Rosenqvist, Pato. I think Arrow McLaren SP are going to have a strong weekend, which means Arrow McLaren SP are going to have a terrible weekend, and I'm so sorry.
Full on jinx at it. Race 2. Winner, Joseph Newgarden. P2, I'm going to go for wild Scott Dixon to maintain his championship resurgence. And then P3, I don't think Power will get a double podium. I think P3 is actually going to be...
The silence is killing everyone.
Willpower!
Willpower! And by sheer willpower, he got on the podium.
I think it's going to be Penske McLaren weekend.
See, Ganassi won twice at Iowa, but both over 10 years ago. There you go. So I wasn't too outrageous with it. I think someone said, Craig Simpson said Scott was second there in 2019. So, fairly recent history. So your Dixon winning on the second day isn't too out there.
I put Dixon second.
Yeah, I know. That's why. Oh, you. Yes. Right. Caleb Meadows. Who is someone you would like to race in IndyCar next year?
Wait. Hold that question, though. Let's finish. Let's just get to the end of this preview.
Oh, star
It's
performer.
been a rapid preview. Yeah, star performer.
Star performer. I'm going to go for Simon Pagenaud.
Oh, I was going to go for Simon.
Ah!
You can't just steal Simon like that.
Simon Pagenaud. Oh. Voulez-vous? Bonjour.
I'm talking about that he's been a mistake this year, but my star performer is going to be teammate rivalry, Elio Castroneves.
Well, I'm glad that I've won the star performer this weekend.
Wait, are we doing star performer free trace?
Oh, no.
For the weekend?
For the weekend. Let's make it easy. I'm not sure we can do it per race.
Yeah.
That's 2 more drivers. We've got to remember what we've possibly said. And it's going to be frantic weekend.
Yeah.
We're going to live stream. We should. I'm available. I think we should be able to live stream both? Race watch-alongs. Because they're at 9 p.m. and 8 p.m. 9 p.m. for us on the Saturday and 8 p.m. on the Sunday. So we should be able to do both.
Nice.
Mental weekend.
Nice.
But should be good. Dixon has never won at Iowa. His driving style doesn't lend itself to bull rings.
I believe P2. Okay, where was the question you were going to?
Right. Who is someone you would like to race in? I would presume that would like to see race in IndyCar next year.
This is the fan section again. We're bringing it back. We dropped it midway through. So if you've got any questions, throw them in now.
Yeah. Well, because that was the fan section for the review. This is now the fan section for the preview.
Who would I like to see in IndyCar next year? It's a tricky one.
I think Linus Lundqvist is an option who's in Road to Indy. It'd be nice to see him progress from that ladder. I've missed... What are the current Road to Indy, the Indy Light standings? Steven Stall, while I look it up.
So I'm going to go for someone outside of Road to Indy. But I haven't decided what person that is yet. There's so many options. I don't want to see anyone come back. Ryan Hunter-Reay, Bourdais, they can stay put. Santucci maybe as a full-time, but I don't think any team wants to
touch him.
Yeah, I think it's quite evident they just gets one-off seats when people need points. But then they're like, no, we don't want you for the season. You give us a top 10 without driving a car in a couple of weeks, a few months. But no, not the whole season.
Well, what was it? Once Jack had the crash. He had no practice and basically got the best result in the 45 car all year.
Yeah, Santucci.
Santucci. Liam Lawson, Craig Simpson brings up again. Can I get a mention for winning a race at Speedway Indoor Karting on my 60th birthday?
Nice.
Yes, you can get a mention.
Check
on
this guy
7:15. Go on, Atomic Count. You're never too old to win races. That confirms Scott Dixon will be racing an IndyCar till he's 60. Done. Fantasy was crazy. You know why it was crazy, Chris? Because I forgot to enter my team. I was fuming. We were at my cousin's. He'd moved into a.
Come on now, don't blame them.
No, I'm not blaming them. But I was sitting there and I suddenly just was like, I didn't do fantasy. Oh no! I've stuffed. It was a manic weekend. I've completely. Lol, thanks, Michael. You're welcome. You get your shout out. Fernando Alonso for a full IndyCar would be cool.
Ooh.
Scott,
he's staying in F1 though.
It would be a dream of mine to see Fernando race in IndyCar full time and to give the Indy 500 a proper one. But his recent comments of Indy not being a potential high up on his priority list, I think that ship has sailed. Would I be interested in seeing a Daniel Ricciardo? I don't know. I'm not necessarily sure the enthusiasm. I'd quite like to see an Oscar Piastri. I'll be honest with you. If he can't get into F1, I think he would be a fantastic Palou replacement. I'll be honest with you. If we lose Palou from the series,
there's obviously because Logan Sargent is now in the Williams Academy, isn't he? So I don't think he'll come across, and he may take the Williams seat that Oscar was so heavily linked to. So Oscar may just be booted over it to IndyCar.
Linus looks.
He's an incredible talent.
Yeah. Going back to Road to Indy, Linus looks like looks strong in that position for coming up from the Road to Indy. If they do go 2 again, you've got to love having someone called Stingray Robb come into it. But it's very close, I think, between Stingray Robb, Matt Brabham, and Hunter McElroy. And obviously Matt Brabham coming from the famous Brabham Racing name. That would also be quite cool to see a Brabham in a top level of motorsport again.
Yeah. So many options. So much excitement in the youth.
Yes.
Next generation of racers.
Sorry, that is a big one actually from Scott. Ernie Francis Jr. I believe I am correct in the one. Yeah, he's the Force Indy guy. Rose to kind of prominence a bit in the SRX. Led to the controversial, I would say, dropping of miles to just focus on Ernie as they just jumped a few steps of the ladder and went straight into Indy Lights as opposed to Miles. But obviously Miles is, come out probably stronger from that. But yeah, Ernie would be an interesting one to see. He's definitely got some natural raw racing talent. He probably has to do a second season in Indy Lights. I don't think we're going to see him next year. Nicholas Latifi to join the battle for the best Canadian IndyCar driver.
Latifi's been in with a shout recently because not looking too good in F1. And Indy's a place where he could end up racing in his home Grand Prix still. Did the former he go to Canada? No idea. That isn't really a selling point. But yeah, Nicholas Latifi, I don't think he'll be too competitive, but let's be honest here. I wouldn't put him on my top 5 to want to see an IndyCar. Starts positive, and now I feel like I'm just slating in Nicholas Latifi.
Yeah, that went downhill very quickly. Wow.
Were there any more questions, or did everyone just jump on who they want to see?
I think everyone just jumped on who they want to see on IndyCar.
It's a good question.
It was a great question. So unless anyone has any further ones, we've been on for an hour. We love to give you at least an hour in the week from there. And you're going to get lots of us over the weekend with obviously a double header live watch along for both races.
It'll be cooler, which is nice.
It will be. And, we might have to go to our old streaming platform of Streamlabs because of getting the live timings up.
Yes.
This may be better just for that. So they won't necessarily be...
Well, you can schedule it and then you just cancel that and then you start.
Cool. Yeah, we'll maybe schedule the stream and cancel it and go from there. Hello! There we go. Has to be go from there. Or goodbye, Palou.
Oh, any early bets on the core battle?
When are you getting over for the 500s? Honestly, we hope maybe next year.
Next year would be great.
But we are looking into financially, hopefully the new jobs that we have should make things a little bit easier. But obviously I've got a more commission-based one. So if I can get some income and focus on that. It is also my 30th next year. Crazy. So we could say that it's going out for 30th birthday.
Nuts.
Anyway, that's irrelevant. But we're going to be double-header live watch along this weekend. You looking forward to it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you're new around here or haven't done so already, What can they do, Stephen?
They can like, subscribe, and ding that bell.
Ding it! So for now, you Indy fans, keep racing!